Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's play another game of there's a free agent on the market and Dallas Cowboys fans feel like the Cowboys are the best fit for said player. This time it happens to be one of the Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles, former Pro Bowl cornerback Darius Slay has been released. Cowboys fans, they think that he may be a good fit on our squad. Let's get right into this and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content as we are on the road to 30K and about 60% of y'all watching these videos ain't subscribed yet, so quit playing. Go ahead and subscribe. Let's get right into it. All right, see here, Adam Schefter is reporting the Eagles are releasing six-time Pro Bowl cornerback Darius Slay. If he is designated as a post-June 1st release, the Eagles will save $4.3 million against the cap. Here is the very, very interesting thing about this particular situation. If he's released, he would likely be a post-June 1st release, which means that would put him squarely in the range of what the Cowboys would probably like to spend on these type of free agents. And I think that Darius Slay, in addition of a Darius Slay, make no mistake about it, that is absolutely like a tier 2 level free agent. In my opinion, Darius Slay can still play that cornerback role very well. If you put on the other side of a corner like a Deron Bland, then honestly, that's going to put you in a much better situation than going into next season with Kalen Carson and some of the other guys we got on this roster that are just unproven. It's not that they're bad. It's not that they're terrible. They're still young guys, and they can't be depended upon just yet. Deron Bland can be dependent upon way more than anybody else we have on our roster, and putting Darius Slay next to him, it would allow us to take Deron Bland off of those guys that may not be the best type of matchup for him and put a Darius Slay over there, similar to what we did when we had Stephon Gilmore here. Is Darius Slay as good of a corner as Gilmore? No. But is Darius Slay still one of the better corners in the NFL? Absolutely. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are only moving on from a Darius Slay because they have the luxury to do so. They have a Cooper DeJean that's ready to take a next step. They have a Quinyon Mitchell who's ready to take that next step. They have a bunch of young guys in that corner room that they are very high on. So Darius Slay isn't being released because he's a bad player. By no means. Darius Slay actually played damn good for the Philadelphia Eagles in the latter half of this season, especially after the Eagles fan base tore his ass a new one for laughing with Micah Parsons about a CJ Gardner-Johnson. And oh, look at that. Perfect segue, AOC. Micah Parsons, this right here, these type of moments to me is where Micah Parsons' true friendliness value can be shown, right? His friendliness and him wanting to be liked by everyone can actually be a superpower for the Cowboys if leveraged properly and if he is who we want him to be. Him having prior existing relationships with Myles Garrett and inviting him to his bowling event later this month, and then having Darius Slay on his podcast a couple of different times and having relationships with a Darius Slay. And Darius Slay is also a Mississippi State guy, so he's a big that guy. I wouldn't be against bringing in the Darius Slay in here for a cup of tea at all. I wouldn't be against bringing him in for a year or two until the Cowboys are able to get their feet back under them in that cornerback room, until Diggs is able to get back healthy, if they keep Diggs on the roster days. If Diggs is able to get back healthy or any of this other stuff, I wouldn't be mad at all about a Darius Slay coming here because I do think that he would help. It would be much like the level of the Deebo Samuels trade that the Commanders just made. No, Deebo Samuels isn't the prime Deebo that they will be getting a couple of seasons back, and Darius Slay will be kind of in a similar vein. He's not a prime player, but does he make the roster better right now as it's currently constructed? Yes, Darius Slay would make the roster better. Here's the thing. It's not going to happen. We're having this conversation for absolutely no reason. In fact, Darius Slay has already made it very clear that if he doesn't end up retiring with the Philadelphia Eagles, he does want to go back and retire with the Detroit Lions. So do I think that realistically he's going to end up with the Dallas Cowboys? No. Am I super excited about those prospects, especially considering that he just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles? So is that level of hunger going to be the same? Is that drive going to be there? Is that level of dedication going to be the same when you just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, when you essentially have dedicated half of your NFL career to that city? Would he come to Dallas with the same level of dedication, energy, focus? I don't really know. And I think that as far as this team, this roster with this coaching staff, you need guys that is unquestionably hungry for that next step. You need guys that are unquestionably still trying to attain more for themselves. And I don't know if Darius Slay is in that phase of his career. I think Darius Slay is probably in that phase of his career where he's just content on collecting a couple more years worth of NFL checks, and he's going to ride off into the sunset. He's proven everything he's needed to prove. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a multiple-time Pro Bowler. He's a made man. I just don't know if that type of player is what you want on your team. I have nothing against bringing in established veterans, but established veterans fresh off of Super Bowls who are probably only a season or two away from retiring, I just question the motivation there, right? So Darius Slay, I'm sure he would help our roster, but I would much rather the Cowboys go after a Jair Alexander or one of those other cornerbacks that's going to be on the market, because I do believe we do need a veteran free agent, but just not this one. Go ahead and go to Detroit, finish off your career, and have fun. And hopefully Micah Parsons can recruit us some of his super friends across the league, whether it be a Myles Garrett or someone else. Hopefully Micah Parsons can help us recruit some of these guys, but just not this one, Micah. Micah, we good on Darius, bro. We good on Darius. Good player, can help the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys would be better served going elsewhere. There's just way too many question marks making this move for me personally as a Cowboys fan. But either way, let me know what y'all think about a Darius Slay to the Dallas Cowboys move in the comments below. See you guys on the next one. Now back them Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.